So the Baltimore Ravens are gearing up for the regular season, but there are some concerns as we head towards week number one. Now we have plenty of time. This is Wednesday, before week one even begins to take form. So we basically have the official injury report that will come out 1 week from today. And then we basically have we basically have 11 days before we get onto the field. So we got plenty of time for guys who are injured to mend and be ready to go. And I know John Harbaugh has reported a couple of different times that a lot of the injuries are not major. We had some guys return to practice on yesterday, which is really great to hear. But when you have guys who are already having nicks and dings, that makes me a little nervous, for the season. When you think about a guy like offensively, Mark Andrews, right? Isaiah Likely's already down. So now when you have Mark Andrews dealing with something, that is a question, right? That is some red flag for me. Again, he hasn't played in the preseason. So I'm not 100% sure how these guys are getting nicked up, dinged up, and not ready to go when you haven't been in full contact for some time, right? When you look at the offensive line, it's pretty stable. I don't remember any injury reports coming out of that group. When you look into the running back room, we know that Keaton Mitchell had a few dings in the preseason. I know he's practicing, at least that's what I remember hearing. Or he's gearing up to start practicing. But that's a concern, right? And I think that's part of the reason why they kept Rashaan Ali. Yes, Rashaan Ali is a special teams ace at this point, okay? But I think you keep an Ali because of the injury history that's attached to a guy like a Keaton Mitchell. When you look at the fullback, right? He can't even be a replacement if there is an absence of a Mark Andrews because Patrick Ricard has had his own injuries this off season. And so, again, some warning signs, red flags. When you go out to the wide receiver room, those guys have been pretty healthy for the most part. But, Zay missed some time. Bate missed a couple of practices. D-Hop missed a couple of practices. So it's only really been the young guys, the Tez Walkers, the Talon Wallace, and the LeJounte Wester, who have been, really full tilt the entire preseason. And so, again, offensively, man, when you look at it, there are some questions. And not to mention the injury of injuries, the concern of concern was when Lamar Jackson left practice early. Now, the most latest report is that he was in mid-season form at yesterday's practice, which means he's healthy. And we want to keep him that way. And so I just named 6 players offensively who've had preseason injuries, and none of them played in the preseason. So these guys are getting injured in light work practices for the most part. And so I think that does raise my antennas when it comes to Baltimore Ravens injuries. When we jump to the defensive side of the ball, I think in the trenches, we've been fairly healthy. Edge rush, we've been fairly healthy with the exception of Adisa Isaac. In the linebacking room, pretty healthy. In the safety room, after Adarius Washington went down, safety room has been pretty healthy. Cornerback room, you had a Awuzie miss some practices. You had a Jair Alexander miss some practices, and we're going to need both of those guys because we're going to play some high-performing, big-time wide receivers. And so some of your major players have some injury concerns, and we're already seeing them. So my question to you guys is, okay, will our depth prevail? Right? We are 6 or 7 deep at cornerback. We are 4 deep at safety. We're deep at linebacker. We have some good rotation pieces in the trenches. Will our depth prevail defensively? And offensively, do we have enough in case one of the top guys have to go out for a couple of games? My answer right now is yes. But if those dominoes start falling too early this season, there is some cause for some concern. Again, we do have a lot of top end talent. We absolutely do. But I do have some concerns. So I want to hear from you guys. Do you guys have some concerns about what we've seen injury wise? And also Kyle Hamilton, I forgot to mention, he's missed some practices this offseason. The defender of all defenders. And, you know, my question to you guys is, do you guys have some concerns with a lot of the top end talent missing practices because of injury, and they did not even play in the preseason, which means they're not going full contact? So I do have some concerns. I want to hear from you guys. And until tomorrow,